Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? We're back doing the Week 7 picks. It's already Week 7 of the NFL season. It's just flying by here. I mean, next week we're going to be 50% through the regular season. It's kind of depressing, you just can't get enough football. But I did see today the league now. There's increased discussion about having a 17-game season instead of a 16-game season. Pro Football Talk was reporting on this. Roger Goodell, who clearly just a bastion of credibility. This guy who was talking about basically the players union and the league kind of talking about like basically the possibility of a 17-game season. 18 games is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I'd watch 18 games. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it. I'm just saying as far as like the players' health is concerned, basically they'd be like getting rid of 2 preseason games and then getting another regular season game. Which sure, I'll watch another regular season game. I think the question though is, who would you play in the extra regular season game? You know what I mean? Because right now, as it's presently configured, you basically play your division twice, both at home and away. You play a whole other division within your conference. Then you play the same seeded, so the seed, basically whatever seed you were in your division last year, you play whoever finished in the same seed in the other 3 divisions within your conference. Basically in the present league year. And then you also play basically in a whole division from the other conference, which all those things kind of rotate. So like the question is like, who you're gonna have another game. Like what would you do? Or who would you play? Like how would the schedule work? In that week. Like I've always been of the opinion that it shouldn't take 4 years for you to play any other team in the other conference, because like unless you play like say you're in the NFC, like 4 years will go by until you play any given team in the AFC unless you meet them in the Super Bowl. So like for instance, like I know like last week the Patriots played the Giants. The last time the Patriots played the Giants was 4 years ago in 2015 in the regular season. There's just some great matchups. Like I don't know, like you think about like I don't know, like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, or actually no, they're in the same conference, or like Aaron Rodgers and like Phillip Rivers, or like Russell Wilson and Tom Brady, or like just any kind of matchup like that. All these quarterbacks are going out like flies. Okay, can't really come up with too many, but like I guess I wanted to say like Pat Mahomes, but he's only been in the this is his second season, so you kind of have to go with guys who are like established legends over a long period of time. But like you get the idea. Like 4 years shouldn't go by, or and then like every 4 years, so you play at your stadium, and then in 4 years you play at their stadium. So it really takes 8 years for you to play at some stadiums in the NFL. Like that's too long. It shouldn't take that long. So I think if you have another game, another regular season game, if there's a way to play. Like somehow add in another, opposite conference team and have that kind of rotate. So you play, let's say you're in the AFC South. The next season you play like the NFC East, and then like one team in the NFC North. And then the next season it's like the NFC North and one team in the NFC West. So like this way it's, I don't know. Like, I mean, you don't want to play like the same. Nobody needs to see like the Buccaneers playing like well, hold on a minute. Let me come with an even more garbage. Nobody needs to see the Jets playing the Dolphins 3 times in a season. You know what I mean? Like you can't have to mix it up. So maybe that's an opportunity to have some more variety there. But who knows? Let's see what's going to happen. So anyways, 6 weeks in the book. Week 7 coming up here. The only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the NFL are the New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers, which is pretty cool. I've been reading, some articles now. People are starting to talk about now that, of course, the Patriots and the 49ers are the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the league. That basically, there's sort of like and it's unrealistic, but, the idea is like the path or the path isn't so foggy in terms of how realistic it is that it could be a Patriots 49ers, Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo Super Bowl. I still have the Saints in the Super Bowl. I don't care how good the 49ers look. They're not going to pass the Saints. Here's the other thing, too. The entire NFC is amazing. Like, if you go through, like, just look at this. I don't mean every single team, but, like, I'm pretty sure, like, 11 out of the 16 teams are Super Bowl contenders in the NFC. Then in the AFC, it's just, I was going to say the Patriots and Chiefs. Right now, it's really just the Patriots because the Chiefs have, fallen off a cliff. All right, so let's just go through it here. All right, so this is the NFC, all right? So Cowboys contenders, Eagles contenders, Giants and Redskins aren't. 49ers are, Seahawks are, Rams are. So 3 of the 4 teams in the NFC West are Super Bowl contenders. That's 5. Packers, Vikings, Bears, 8. Actually, Lions, 9. I'm going to count them too. Saints, Panthers, 10, 11. So 11 of the 16 teams in the NFC are legitimate Super Bowl contenders, which means, if like, what is it, like 6 teams in each, is it either, it's either like 6 or 8 teams make the playoffs in each conference. Let me do the mental math really quickly. All right, so it's like, so you have 2 wild card games. That's 4 teams, and you have your 2 other teams with byes. So that's 6. Yeah, so it's 6. So like half of the, or like basically like almost half of the Super Bowl contenders in the NFC aren't going to make the play. Like half of the teams are not going to make the playoffs, and they're all like playoff like any one of them could have a shot at the Super Bowl. And just the way it works is like, 6 of those 11 or 5 of those 11 are not going to make it. So really talented. And then in the AFC, it's like there's just nobody. There's the Patriots, and then there were the Chiefs, but they're kind of the wind's coming out of their sails. As much as I hate to say this, the Bills have looked interesting, but I mean there's some explanations for that. But anyways, it's things are looking interesting here. So first game, speaking of something that doesn't look interesting, is the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Denver Broncos on Thursday night. Kansas City Chiefs are 4-2. Denver Broncos are 2-4. So as far as the Kansas City Chiefs go, so the Kansas City Chiefs started the season shot out of a cannon. Somehow Mahomes was even better than last year, and then slowly but surely, teams are starting to take like the, basically like the New England Patriots like AFC Championship game plan and springing it on the Chiefs. And basically what the game plan is the best defense for Patrick Mahomes is not letting him get on the field. So basically just run the ball, chew the clock, because anybody with eyes could tell you this. The Chiefs' defense is atrocious. Might be one of the worst defenses I've ever watched, okay? A high school team could run the ball on the Kansas City Chiefs. They cannot stop the run. They can't stop anything. The list of what they can stop is shorter than the list of what they can't stop. Like, you can run on them, throw on them, screens, deep ball, medium passes, crossing routes, out routes, outside runs, inside runs, halfbacks, fullbacks, pitching the ball, hook and ladder plays, play action. Whatever you want to run, you can basically run on the Kansas City Chiefs. That defense can't do anything well. Like, somehow it's worse. Because you're going to remember, the AFC Championship game, which was in Kansas City last year, the Kansas City Chiefs had the Patriots like several 3rd and 10s at least. Like, in this year, it's like it's like first down every down. It's like they can't stop anything. And so, but I think the Colts last week when they beat the Chiefs, it was like time of possession, and then again, of course, the Chiefs lost again this week to the Texans, who we're going to talk about them because they look great. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to include the Texans in the list of AFC teams that are really good. So it's the Patriots and then the Texans. Texans are really good. But it's like you can run on them. I think they, the time of possession was like 40-20 in favor of the Texans. I think it was almost the same thing in the Colts game. You said 10 whole more in-game minutes, on offense, and Mahomes couldn't come on the field. And then, of course, they're dealing with injuries. Their line play is terrible. Mahomes is hurt. The wind's coming out of the Chiefs' sails. So there you go. So the Chiefs have dropped 2 straight, and they're playing Denver tomorrow night. The Denver Broncos, on the other hand, looked like, they were 0-4. It looked like it was a time for just a full-blown fire sale, tank, cut everybody, or, trade everybody off, get picks, and rebuild. It really looks like a rebuild. And then they won the last 2 weeks. I'm not saying that that's still not the case. It's just that, now, okay, well, we won 2 games. You got the Dawn comes out and says, oh, well, we're going to try to win games. The guy's a tool. The guy should be next to be fired. But it's like, now that they won 2 games, it's like, okay, well, now you can't, if you didn't pull the chute before, you didn't pull the plug before, rather, now you won 2 games, and you can't pull it now, you know what I mean? So it's just, not that this is a team that's going to finish, like, 5-11 or something like that. But, so they're not going anywhere, but, there you go. I got the Chiefs winning this game, but it's going to be an ugly game. Like, I don't think the Chiefs' problems, like, their defense is so atrocious and awful that like you can't fix. I'm talking about the Chiefs. Like you can't fix that in a week. Now it helps that you're playing the Broncos, who just can't do anything on offense. But you look at this team and it's like the Chiefs, and you look at how bad the defense is. I mean, they're not losing 3 in a row, and they're certainly not going to lose to the Denver Broncos, who just are not very good anymore. And so I just don't see them losing this game. I don't see how they're going to lose the game. But at the same time, it's not going to be like a great win. It's not going to be like this high level of play. I still think the issues on defense that dogged them before are going to dog them again. But you're playing a lesser opponent, so like they say, victory is a great deodorant. So it's it's going to kind of mask some of the issues that this Chiefs team has. But I still think it's going to be an ugly game. They're still dealing with injuries. They're still the defense is what it is. So yeah, I got Kansas City winning this game. Next game up, the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins. I mean, let's not waste any time on this. This is on Sunday, 1 o'clock. No London games this week, I guess. Yeah, I got San Francisco winning this game. I mean, the only reason I want to talk about it is because actually, I guess I got to talk about both of these teams. The 49ers, 5-0, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, the guy looks like Joe Montana. I'm not comparing him to Joe Montana. I'm just saying that 49ers uniform, just the whole, he's, the kind of the shorter stature that he's got, he kind of looks like Joe. He kind of does. And it's obviously the performance has been tremendous by Jimmy Garoppolo, 5-0 this season. This is a guy who's wasted a lot of his career, not necessarily through any fault of his own. He spent however many years at the beginning of his career and ESPN, on the bench in New England behind Tom Brady. He gets traded to the 49ers halfway through the season 2 years ago. Kind of sits the rest of the season, played like the last 2 games when they were like already out of it. Tears his ACL last season, so he missed last season. So this is really like his first actual... this is his first real season. So, he's kind of, starting a little bit, behind. He hasn't been able to have, as long of a career, as you'd hope for. But he really looks good. I mean, that offense, the way it works, I think it's a nuanced, high skill, West Coast offense that they're running in San Francisco. I mean, they've got great receivers. They got, a good, not necessarily a great defense. Okay, like the Patriots have a great, possibly it's in the conversation, at least statistically speaking, for the best defense of all time right now. However, they've played mostly crap teams, so they kind of have to play some good teams for us to figure that out. But you can't really control who you play. But, the 49ers defense is, it's gotten the job done. The offense is fast. It's like, they remind me of the Seahawks of like a few years ago. Like, they're just high flying and it's a well-oiled machine out there. So, I like what I see. As far as the Redskins go, the Washington Redskins franchise right now is an embarrassment to the NFL. Okay. The owner first of all, the owner is a vindictive, just D-bag. Like, the guy's a piece of trash, okay? He's like a little kid running a team. It's like a little kid playing Madden Ultimate Team, this guy, right? Dan Snyder. It's like, and I'm not talking about I know people, like, when they talk about Dan Snyder, they talk about like the name of the team, and he should change the name of the team. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the football. I'm talking about the way this team's been managed and the fact that there's been like no semblance of anything on that team for decades now. It's really bad. It's garbage. Bruce Allen, what a disaster. I mean, it's just that team needs to be sold. This is how you fix the Redskins. Okay? You sell the team to somebody else who cares and has a clue. You get a GM that has a clue. And I'm not saying any of these things are easy. I mean, it's just, but bear with me. You get a GM that has a clue. You burn it all down. You get as many picks as you tank. You get as many picks as you can. You get yourself a quarterback, a great receiver, and this is like the order of priority: a franchise quarterback, a great outside receiver who can kind of play a full route tree. You get a good line. You need to build a great offensive line. Okay, then you kind of build around it from there. As far as your defense goes, you need like one shutdown corner, a good pass rusher, and like a linebacker and a safety, like kind of in that order. You kind of build that out. You can do that. You can go like 9-7 like that, 9-7, 10-6. You never know, but you gotta do something. You gotta start somewhere because this is absolute garbage. This I mean, the Miami Dolphins are complete garbage, but like, you get the idea. All right, so Redskins. Here's the thing. So last weekend there was the Redskins and the Dolphins, the AKA the Tank Bowl. Basically, neither of those teams wanted to win. Somehow, this is so dumb. Somehow the Redskins won. Like, you want to lose. Like, you want to have like a 0-0 tie if necessary. It's all about that number one pick. So somehow the Redskins even failed at losing. So there you go. Next game, Cardinals, Giants in New York. Give me Kyler Murray's starting to kind of do some things. The Cardinals are a team that hasn't been good for, like 4 years now, 5 years, since. It's kind of sad. Like, I've always wanted to see Larry Fitzgerald, win. I just feel like that guy is just a guy who deserves. I mean, he could have gone to another team by now if he wanted to. I mean, he's an institution out there, so I mean, what are you going to do? But it's kind of too bad. But it seems like maybe turning a corner. They're 2-3-1. However, the Giants are starting to get their weapons back. Daniel Jones Thursday night. New England played well until he didn't. So I still have New York winning this game. It's in New York. They're getting their weapons back. They should be good to go. And then watch out, because then the Giants are 3-4. They might. You never know. Next game up. Okay, this might be the game of the week, right? This might be. No, I think it's got to be Seattle-Baltimore has to be the game of the week. Otherwise, it would be Indianapolis-Houston. But anyways, the Houston Texans beat the crap out the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, like I said, they run the ball, throw the ball. Deshaun Watson was looking tremendous. I mean, played better than Mahomes. Kind of looks like Mahomes. Makes plays with his feet. It'll be nice, at least for the Texans if he didn't take as many hits as he does. But not much you can, I mean, you can kind of tell him to kind of, cool his jets with that stuff. Because, I mean, there's been so many injuries. I mean, you look how easily these guys get injured. It's bad for the game when, these talented guys go down. So you don't want to see that. But the Colts, the Texans are legit 4-2. I mean, they're going into Indy, who, of course, Indianapolis also beat the Chiefs. Running the ball, just a tremendous win on Indianapolis' part. It's just great team defense, great run game. It's a team. I think it's a team with a lot of depth. Jacoby Brissett, who took over, for Andrew Luck when he retired. I'm not saying he's like a tremendous quarterback, but he's pretty good. He's like kind of on the edge of like a starter and a backup. Like he's really talented, but like if it was like a big situation under the bright lights, like I'm not kind of so sure how that one would work out. But yeah, it's all right. So it's gonna be an interesting game. The Colts are 3-2, Texans are 4-2. Basically AFC South position. Seeding rather is on the line here. If the Colts win, they're 4-2. Texans are 4-3, and the Colts would pull in a lead. And if not, then of course the opposite is true. So you kind of look at this, and it's an important game for both of these teams. I got the Texans winning this game. If the Texans win this game, watch out. Like the whole. I mean, most of the AFC is complete garbage, but like even like New England, you gotta watch out for this Texans team. I've got. Well, I think were the Colts on the bye week last week? I think they might have been. Let me just check. Yeah, they were on the bye week last week. Okay, so they beat last thing they did was they beat the Chiefs. So yeah, I mean I got Houston winning this game. Next, Oakland Raiders, Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's not even. Aaron Rodgers, first of all, Aaron Rodgers is an a-hole. All right, like off the field, you can read about him and he's kind of a bad guy. But as far as the on the field stuff goes, I mean, he's had these like up and down years. Like last year was a down year, but this year, he's back to his old self. Like if he could just kind of, he wants to be one of these guys that just runs around. He wants to do like these highlight reel Hail Marys, run around, doesn't set his feet. It's just fun and it's exciting, but like you can't. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I think he's better than Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's better than Tom Brady. I'm saying that both of those players at their peak, I think Aaron Rodgers has a higher ceiling than Tom Brady has. It's just that Aaron Rodgers is nowhere near as consistent as Tom Brady. And the Packers are a team that should have won more with Aaron Rodgers, but it's just they could never be a good regular season team. That was always like it's Aaron Rodgers is one of these guys where if it's 3rd and 12, Hail Mary, we're down by 5, fourth quarter, 20 seconds, like runs around, ridiculous catch in the end zone. Like, he's got to be one of those guys, but like that's not how you win the Super Bowl. You have to, play sound football for 16 weeks and make the play. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be slinging it all over the yard. He's one of these guys where some years, he checks out. And of course, coaching's been an issue there. Defense, his weapons, all of those things have been issues. But still, he's had years where he just kind of just doesn't. He's just kind of, just playing it fast and loose. But it seems like this year, 5-1, this Packers team. I mean, it's just such a loaded NFC field that there's a lot of good teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. But obviously, I got the Packers winning this game. Watch out for this Packers team. They're legit. Next game, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. So Detroit got absolutely robbed by the referees. Detroit, much like the Saints, got robbed by the referees. Trey Flowers, 2 phantom hands to the face penalties on Monday night against the Packers. So to be completely honest with you, the Detroit Lions should have won the game. So the Detroit Lions, so the 2-2-1, they should be 4-0-1. Okay, because they should have beat the Chiefs. I mean, that's not necessarily the refs' fault. It's just that they had the Chiefs beat 6 ways from Sunday, and then they kind of gagged at the end. And they would have beat the Packers if the refs didn't give them 2 phantom calls. And that's how the Packers won that game. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this. So it's like, I think this Detroit Lions team is a really good team. They've just kind of, been robbed in one case and finished a few inches shy and against the Chiefs. But I got the Lions in this game. Next game, this is complete garbage. The Jaguars, who traded Jalen Ramsey to the Rams for way too many picks that they never should have gotten from Jalen Ramsey. What is this, like Herschel Walker, two firsts and a 4? Like, it's too much for a guy who's like, he doesn't even have a long-term deal in front of him. But Jaguars, Cincinnati's garbage. Give me the Jaguars. I mean, this AFC is garbage this year. The NFC is like, almost every team is a Super Bowl contender except for like 5 of them. And in the AFC, except for like 2 or 3 of them, everybody's kind of garbage. Really 2. It's really the Patriots and the Texans. All right, fine. 4. Patriots, Texans, Chiefs. Except we're kind of going to see what direction the Chiefs going. And then maybe the Bills just because their defense is really good. Their offense sucks. I guess give me the Jaguars in this game. Cincinnati's terrible. Next game, oh my God. Dolphins in Buffalo. Give me Buffalo. Rams in Atlanta. Give me Rams. This is getting easy. 2-4 Chargers against 2-4 Titans. This is interesting here. The Titans flashed in 2017, making it to the playoffs. They flashed last year in the regular season. And basically since, because I remember they had that one really great game where they just, completely laid a beat down on the Patriots, which was week, I think it was like Veterans Day, so it's like November 11th, I believe that game was. I remember just was at a party watching it. And it feels like after that, it feels like the Titans haven't won a game since then. They just turned into complete crap. But it is the Chargers going. I got the Chargers winning this game. The Chargers should be playing better than they have. Next thing up, it's game of the week right here. Baltimore Ravens in Seattle. Russell Wilson definitely should be the MVP. Russell Wilson is the whole team in Seattle. Like, this guy, holy smokes, Russell Wilson, right? I mean, the way this guy is playing, like, what is this, like his 8th year? So this guy's not a spring chicken, and he's making, he doesn't run anymore, but he does scramble around when he has to, and he makes these plays like clockwork. Like, you can set your watch to it, the plays this guy makes. Having a career year, definitely league MVP thus far, just tremendous. Ravens, on the other hand, Lamar Jackson, the guy's a handful. You got to be able to contain him. He is taking too many hits. He should probably, settle down a little bit more. I mean, if he goes down, the Ravens are done. Not that, I'm saying like Lamar Jackson's like a Hall of Fame player. Let's not put the crown on him yet, but he's a tremendous player, and he really powers that team. They got a good defense, and Lamar Jackson be able to run around, make plays with his feet. He's got a good arm this year. He didn't really have that last year. They're more of like a running team, but this is a great game. This is a good, who's going to win this one? I got Seattle just because it's in Seattle. It's a really, really tough place to play. Russell Wilson's playing out of his mind. Give me Seattle. Next thing I have Saints and Bears. Give me the Saints. So the Saints, Drew Brees is, the day of Drew Brees' return is rounding near. The guy, it's kind of unbelievable without him they haven't lost a game. Like, is that true? I believe it's true. They're 5-1. I think they haven't lost a game without Drew Brees. So imagine what they're going to do with Drew Brees. It's like, freaking unbelievable what this team's doing. The Bears, on the other hand, you're not, New Orleans is, forget it. Now New Orleans' defense is playing really good. This is might be a. I mean, they're. I think they're. I think they're a Super Bowl lock. I don't want to say they're going to win for sure, but watch out for the Saints. All right, watch out for the Saints. Next thing up, Eagles and Dallas. All right, so this is an interesting game. Both teams are 3-3. Both teams are in the NFC East, and both teams started the year up and have really slowed down the last few weeks. Eagles got throttled by the Minnesota Vikings. The Cowboys were 3-0, and then now they're 0-3 against three real and in some cases somewhat real teams. So the Cowboys are fake, as you can. It's another way. It's a polite way of saying it. Maybe not so polite. I don't know. I can be the judge of that. But anyways, it's like the Eagles have not been playing well. The Eagles are a team that I think, Carson Wentz, who I don't want to say they were better with Nick Foles, but I just feel like that offense, like, the way Doug Peterson ran that thing and schemed it up, it's like, I just feel like it worked better with Nick Foles. And Carson Wentz is one of these guys who's like, I put him in the category of quarterbacks where it's like he just can't, just get rid of the ball. Like he's trying to make, and this is how he tore his ACL 2 years ago. Like just stop. You look down the field. There's nothing there. Take the check down. It's not get rid of the ball. Like it's, you can't be. Your offense is not as efficient as it was when you had Nick Foles in there. Their defense is pretty much garbage. I mean, I don't want to say garbage, but it's like they haven't been playing well. It's just. But all the problems the Eagles have, I feel like, are fixable. That's why I never rule them out, because they're all, like, they have the talent. It's just, they're going to be coached up on some of these things. The Cowboys, on the other hand, suck. It's just overrated. The first 3 weeks they played against just garbage, and so, they're 3-0. Or they were 3-0. Then they played some real teams, and they lost 3 weeks in a row. So it's like, that kind of tells you everything you know about the Cowboys. Jason Garrett, I don't know what that guy does. It's kind of like Mike Tomlin. Like, I don't really know what he does. Like, what is he? It's like, you could just tell me who the opponent is, and I can tell you who's gonna win. Right? It's like there's not really like any like scheme or game plan or angle you got to take on a perspective. It's just the Cowboys are gonna go out. They're gonna hand it off to Zeke. We're gonna establish the run. We're gonna pound the ball. We're gonna give it to Zeke. He's gonna do that stupid thing after his run. And that's all the Cowboys do. That's the only thing they do. They just do that, and Jason Garrett claps on the sidelines. It's basically all a team does. They lost to the freaking New York Jets. Sam Darnold's first game. Is that his first game ever, or was it his first game back from my? I'm not sure. That's how unimportant the Jets have been for I don't know how many years, but So there you go. But I mean, I don't want to say the Jets had a run. So like the Jets had a run in like the late 2000s, when they had like Darrelle Revis and all those guys, where like they beat the Patriots in the AFC, tremendous, huge upset. 2010 AFC divisional round game. The Patriots team was, I believe, 14-2. The Jets, they had, was it I'm trying to remember. Was it Rex Ryan? Was he the coach, or was it? I think it was Rex Ryan. And you had just Darrelle. Like that team was that team had a little mojo there. They knew, they did lose to the Patriots. Or I'm sorry, they did lose to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game. But like since then, the Jets have sucked. Before then, early 2000s, they had a little thing going. Late 90s, they had a thing going. But other than that, the Jets have sucked. I think. My favorite Jet player of all time is Curtis Martin. What a guy! If you watch the Football Life on him, tremendous, great football player and even better person. Probably my favorite Jet. Other than that, the Jets have been good. I mean, come on, for Jets. I do like their new uniforms though. I do enjoy the Jets. New uniform. I thought their old uniforms were outdated. Like they were really gonna get like this like Times New Roman font, and I don't know who. It's like somebody used like Microsoft Word to like design the. It's like kind of a little outdated there. I don't know, but got some new uniforms there. They just kind of need to. They got. Let's see what happens because they haven't had their starting quarterback the whole season. So now we'll kind of. They are 1-4. They're not winning anything this year. They're not going anywhere. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Like if they win 8 of their last 30 games are 9-7. Like that's kind of. It's not 4-12. I mean, it's an improvement. And of course, speaking of the Jets, the last game of the week, Monday Night Football, New England Patriots at the New York Jets with Sam Darnold, who is back from his mono. Guy had mono. I mean, do people get mono in like high school? Isn't that like it's like I don't know. It's just something you don't really hear very often. I mean, but anyways, he's back. Think about it though, he's always got like cold sores every time you see a picture. This dude's gross. But anyways, Sam Darnold, is back. The Patriots defense is also back because they're back every week. The Patriots defense, if we just go through this right now, if we just go through, if I just give you like some quick stats on this Patriots defense. Now I know they played like largely bum teams, but you can't control who you play, but at the same time, like the stats are the stats. Like if you're all-time number one in something, well, that's also taking into consideration the fact that at some point in time in the last 60 years or however long it's been, the NFL, the modern era, at one point or another, a team played a bunch of crap teams in a row, and a team played a bunch of really good teams in a row. It all balances out, So right now, the Patriots' total defense, they lead the league 234.7 yards per game. Close on their heels is the 49ers at 237.4 yards a game. It's just 3 yards basically is separating these two teams. Passing yards per game, they're actually second behind the 49ers. And rushing yards per game defense, number 3. So, but really all that matters, is total defense. But what matters even more than that is points. Because the yards, the yards don't matter if you're not scoring any points. So it's like if you go scoring, the New England Patriots are... Let me just check. Sorry, one second. Hold on a second. I just gotta do this thing. Give me a second here. This thing's loading very slowly. Should have this pull up already. All right. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then, if you look at points, because the points are the only thing that matters. The yards, forget it. The points are what you don't win because you scored a lot of yards. You win because you scored points. New England Patriots far and away lead the league in scoring defense, 48 points through 6 games, okay? That's 8 points a week on average, okay? The New England Patriots defense, halfway through the season, has allowed an average of 8 points a game. Next best team is the 49ers at 12, then it goes 13, 14, 15, 17, and then just goes all the way up from there. Worst team in the league is the Falcons, who've got up an average of 31 points a game. That sucks. All right, so... anyways, so there you go. Obviously, not obvious. Maybe it's not obvious. I do have the Patriots winning this game. I mean, come on. It's the Jets. If there's one thing the Patriots do well, it's beating the Jets. But I think this could be a close game. Patriots offense is not very good. Like, it's not because they just don't have weapons. It's not that they're not good and they don't know what they're doing and Tom Brady's, but it's just they don't have... They need, 2 more receivers. They're getting back their first-round pick wide receiver off injured reserve in the next week or 2 weeks, basically. He's coming back. Trade deadline's coming up. I mean, you got to figure they're going to make some kind of trade. I mean, if they got to add 2 receivers to this team, watch out. I mean, they're, with the way their defense plays, all things considered, they get their starting left tackle back off injured reserve as well. Watch out for them. So anyways, there you go. All right, guys, what's going to do for the Week 7 NFL picks? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree, disagree with any of my picks, want to talk shop, let me know. I've enjoyed your comments in past weeks, and other than that, until next time, I was going to do this one, guys. Thanks for watching.